All right. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Call, Halor, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you, sincere Akim, out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And shalom to the few sincere Akwath that are out there listening and learning as well. With that being said, Adawan Ratazah, this will be edifying. As usual, I'm going to go into Rakah Quadash. And it's going to be a quick one, not too long. Breaking news. As you can see, it says U.S. and U.K., United Kingdom, the United States and the United Kingdom carry out strikes against Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. All right? And I was listening to this. I was listening to a couple videos, but this video in particular from CNN, I'm not going to play it. I definitely would get copyright stricken from CNN, so I'm definitely not going to play this video. But as you can see, it's entitled, and I'll read a little bit of the description. Retired Colonel predicts major activity coming after latest strike in Yemen. Retired Colonel predicts major activity coming after latest strike in Yemen. And it says retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton weighs in after the U.S. and the U.K. launched strikes against multiple Houthi targets in Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen, a U.S. official and U.K. official told CNN. And, they're pretty much all these different media outlets are pretty much, touting the same thing, saying the same thing over and over. But something was said. They said their analyst, I think his name was Stephen Collinson, made a comment, and the comment was that the credibility of U.S. power was on the line. It says it was imperative to reestablish some form of deterrence because those calls for deterrence were not working. So again, their analyst Stephen Collinson made a statement, and this is really why I'm doing a lesson. And it was mentioned in this video in particular. So it says the credibility of the U.S. power was on the line. It said it was imperative, meaning they were forced to strike. They had no choice. They really didn't want to because they know this is going to escalate things. The Middle East, the Red Sea, that area is a hotbed. It's a powder keg. A lot of warships are down there, Salakia. You got a lot of these different warships down there. It's a real bad scene down there. One thing can just the script it's prophetic. Which I'm going to bring out the prophecies. But yeah, the second woe pass, the third woe cometh quickly. Any little thing can get this third woe on and popping, which we know ultimately it's not going to get started until that charagma is made. Well, it's not going to get in full-blown swing. The third woe is not going to, get hot and heavy officially until that charagma, that RFID chip, that CHIP, that MOTB per Revelation 13 and 16, the charagma is made mandatory. You might have little skirmishes, little spats, but it's not going to really get hot and heavy again until that charagma is made mandatory. But as I'm going to bring out, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is mustering the host of the battle. He's gathering them for that third woe. And it's a powder keg down there. It's a hotbed. A lot of nations are down there, and a lot of warships are down there. Okay? So again, the Stephen Collinson said that the credibility of the U.S. was online, meaning America is losing its hegemony, its hegemon, which I'm going to get that definition. Okay? America is losing its hegemony, its power, its strength. Okay? Because what you see happening is basically just like in World War I, World War II, all right, there's a split in the earth. The so-called West versus the East. East. America, Babylon the Great, she's the whore that's riding this beast, which is the revival of the Roman Empire, which is nothing more than NATO and the EU. But America, Babylon the Great, she's the whore that's riding this beast. And who's her chief adversary, her chief enemy? The East. Okay? These BRICS nations, which is spearheaded by who? Gog and Magog, Russia, Moab, China, the BRICS allies, okay? And a lot of America's so-called allies at one point are abandoning her, which that's all prophetic, the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, they shall hate the whore and burn them with fire. Even her own mother, UK, is eventually gonna turn against her. Okay, Germany, UK, certain nations are on her side at this point, but eventually they're gonna abandon ship, as it is written in Revelation, and burn her with fire. Okay, that's the end game. Okay, but all that will not take place until that charagma is made mandatory. Okay, but again, it says the credibility of the U.S. power on the line is hegemony. The scriptures refer to America, Babylon the Great, as the hammer of the earth. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And what's her wine? Her philosophies, her ideologies, okay, her ways, okay. America has been the bully on the block. America, Babylon the Great, was the big bully on the block in everybody's business, telling them how they can conduct business, who they can and can't do trade deals with, how they have to govern themselves. Okay, you see. And why were they able to do that? Because of that great sword that they possessed. Those nukes. That's when America really put the world in a headlock, in a noose, put a foothold in the world after World War II. At the end of World War II, when they dropped those bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that's what quieted the earth. Okay, everybody was in fear of America because they had that great sword, the ability to destroy nations, masses of people at the drop of a dime. Okay, they had the power to make fire come down from earth, from heaven. But what's happening now is that, which I might as well get it. This is a spirit, it's a spirit. Joel 3, the main point is in 10. Okay? Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, meaning the other nations, right? Prepare war, right? Because we're not in the time of peace. Okay? It tells you that in Ecclesiastes, I think that's chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken. There's a time and place for everything. A time to love, a time to hate, a time to get, a time to refrain from getting, a time for peace, and a time for war. We're not in the time of peace. We're in the time of war. And who's ultimately bringing this war? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. The Lord is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Yahweh is not coming. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is not coming for peace. He's coming to judge the earth. He's going to plead with all flesh. Where? In the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Okay? Okay, the valley of Yahweh's decision over there in the Middle East, which I'm gonna get. That it's not, man. Beautiful times that we're living in, So again, it says, think Matthew 10:34, straight out of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach's mouth. Think not that I come to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. All right, and the ultimate sword is gonna be those missiles, those ICBMs, those hypersonic missiles. That's the second death, the lake of fire. America being completely on fire, a desert, a wasteland. And what's going to do that? The Lord's arrows, the ICBMs, they will be shut off in the midst of the third woe. And our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they're going to return in the midst of the third woe, in the midst of all hell breaking loose, in the midst of Jacob's trouble. Okay? So again, Joel 3:9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And they've been preparing. They revamped their which is gonna go into. They've revamped their artillery, you know. They've been running joint military drills. They've been preparing for what? This third woe. To ultimately come against this whore. Okay? Because they know it's inevitable. Okay? So it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Yeah, take all your effort, all your resources, put all your effort, not into agriculture, you know, not into really building up your economy. Really, your main focus is on what? Warfare. You know? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. These weaker nations, all right? These so-called hills, because the scriptures refer to nations sometimes as mountains and hills. These hills, these third world nations, these so-called inferior, lesser nations, right? They're becoming strong now. Why? Because they have the great equalizer. Not to mention, a major superpower is on their side. Russia, Gog and Magog, he's being a guard unto them. Ethiopia, Libya, Persia, okay? He's supplying them with artillery. Saudi Arabia, Iran, North Korea, okay? Not to mention, they're all in cahoots. They're all working together. China, they're all confederate. Just like they were confederate against Yasharallah, now they're confederate against this whore, this beast, okay? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's decision. For there will I sit to judge all heathen round about. Hey, and we're in these times. That's what this is about. Okay, you see it. We're in these times. Okay, beautiful times that we're living in. We're in these times. Okay. So again, America's losing its hegemony. So this is off of Google. It says hegemony or hegemon. Sometimes you can refer to it as hegemon. It says leadership or dominance, especially by one country or social group over others. America, again, she was the big bully on the block, Babylon the Great. Why? Because she was backed by the beast, NATO and the EU. If you didn't want to abide by America's rules and regulations, guess what? She'd put sanctions on you, on your nation. She'd tell you who you can and can't do trade deals with. Okay? You know? She'd cripple your economy. You know? Through what? Through EU, the monetary arm of the beast. Okay? And if that didn't work, if that wasn't enough, she'd actually go to actual war with you through NATO. Okay? Which is the military arm of the beast. Okay? That's how she was able to put a foothold in the earth. The earth was quiet. Ultimately because she possessed that great sword. Okay? But now the weak nations are saying they're strong. And what did the man say? The credibility of U.S. power was on the line. Imperative, meaning they had to. They were left with, their hand was forced. All these nations are dumping the U.S. dollar, getting away from the petrodollar. One of their chief allies, Saudi Arabia, is no longer trading with the petrodollar. Okay? They're all joining. More and more nations are trying to join the BRICS alliance. Okay? It was imperative to reestablish some form of deterrence, which they ain't studying that, you know, because those calls for deterrence were not working. All their threats, their vain threats, were not, had no effect because they're losing their hegemony. All right, they're going. The BRICS nations are going forward with their agenda. Okay, you see. So hey, 2024 is hell of a year, man. So far, Adawan Ratazah, this will be the year, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. So I pretty much hit the point, but a couple more scriptures and I'll close out. Uh, Isaiah 13:4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms of nations gathered together. They're gathering as we speak. Okay? Where? Let me show you. These nations are gathering right here in the Levant, where you see circled, really Saudi. Hey, and ain't that something beautiful? Which I'm gonna bring out. I will remove far from you the northern army, and drive them into a land barren and desolate. Elder Apostle Tahar done broke down that the valley of Hawashaphat is the where this third woe is gonna take place is gonna be in the Middle East, in the so-called Levant. Elder Apostle Tahar broke down that which I'm going to go into, that barren and desolate, the North Sea and its hindermost part. I'm botching it up, but the two seas are the Red Sea, as you can see there, and the Persian Gulf, right? And he said, Elder Apostle Tahar said that America, which they did it before, I think he said it was Desert Storm, I forget which war, but America is going to amass their troops really at the southeast and the southern part of Saudi Arabia. They said that's where America is going to set up shop for this third woe, right? Because the battle is going to be really in like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, that whole area, that whole area. So it's no, ain't it something that they attacked Yemen for? Because a lot of you're not, a lot of you, I know, not to throw no shots, but you have no idea where Yemen is on the map. And as you can see, Yemen is circled in red. It's right below Saudi Arabia, okay? And a lot of ships are down there right now. The Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea, a lot of ships are being attacked, okay? It's disrupting the supply chain. It's a hotbed, it's a hotbed, it's a powder keg. And why? Because the second woe passed, the third woe is coming quickly. Yahweh Bashim Hawashai is mustering the host of the battle. He's gathering these nations. And he's forcing their hands. As the colonel, the analyst said, Stephen Collinson, it was imperative because America is losing its hegemony. It's losing its credibility. Okay? Beautiful times that we're living in. Yapar times, man. Yapar times for the elect. So again, going back to Isaiah 13:4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, the Lord of armies, right, mustereth the host of the battle, because he's a man of war. Yahweh is his name. So I read Joel 3. I pretty much read them all. I read Jeremiah real quick because I didn't read it. Jeremiah 15:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth, America, Babylon the Great? How is that? And it was a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? We're in this time. We're seeing it. America's a former shell of itself. America's CTD, circling the drain. Everybody's abandoning ship. Nobody fears this whore anymore, really. You see? And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is doing it. But ultimately, it's going to be wasted by intercontinental ballistic missiles. And that day is quickly approaching. The day cometh that burneth as an oven. And all the wickedly and all the proud, shall be melted. Roughly paraphrasing, So I'm going to close out here. This is what I was botching up. Joel chapter 2, verse 20. All right? Straight to the point. Straight to the point. And I showed you on the map that area is around Saudi Arabia, that whole area right there. So it's no coincidence that they just attacked Yemen. Okay? Again, Elder Apostle Tahar said, right down there in the southern part of Saudi Arabia, that's where they're going to set up shop. That's where they set up shop before. Okay? For this third's woe. Joel 2:20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, the Babylonian army. All right? They're about to go, the mighty men, all the men, all the military men, okay? All these Navy SEALs, Marines, Air Force men, Coast Guard, National Guard. They're going to need a lot of bodies, man, because as time has advanced, technology has advanced, warfare has advanced. Esau has perfected the sword. Bodies are going to be dropping like flies. Each war, World War One was mass casualties, but it paled in comparison to World War II. Why? Because they perfected the sword. Okay? So how much more so in this time? Bodies are going to be dropping like flies. That's why they're ultimately going to implement a draft. Okay? Especially because over there in like Saudi Arabia, over there where he's gathering them in the Valley of Hawashapat, that's urban warfare, the bloodiest warfare you could have. It's going to be a lot of casualties, and it's going to be drawn out. Okay? They're not just going to be able to drop bombs on them like that. You ain't just going to be able to nuke that place because you got your men around there. Okay? There's going to be too many casualties of war, so it's going to be hand-to-hand combat, snipers, and, it's going to be urban warfare, as it has been. Desert Storm. That's what happened in Iraq, Afghanistan. Urban warfare, bloody warfare. Okay? And it's going to be drawn out, baby. But I will remove far from you the northern army, all right, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate. I personally believe that's Saudi Arabia, because that's a barren, desolate land. Yeah, people live there now, but it's a desert. When you look it up on a map, that's a desert. Nothing grows there. They import everything. Okay? You see? And it says, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate with his face toward the East Sea. The East Sea would be, what's that? The Persian Gulf, I believe it is. Right? And his hinder part toward the utmost sea, which would be the Red Sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. Okay? Oh, so we're in these times, man. Beautiful, beautiful times. Your paw times for the elect. Your paw times for the elect, man. Horrific times for the rest of you. A lot of you are playing fucking games. Hey, man. Playtime is almost over, man. Playtime is almost over. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not holding his peace anymore. He about to make a move. He about to bust a move. And he gonna force this devil's hand. He gonna force their hands. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever way he will. Roughly paraphrasing. Man's goings is of the Lord. This is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh's movie. And we coming to the juicy part. Okay? We coming to the climax. But hey, as the scriptures say, through much tribulation we shall enter into the kingdom. So hey, man, keep watching, keep praying, keep fighting, keep pushing. We're close. Shalom. Wa abad babal. Kwam Yasharallah.